Now, the damage from the KZN floods continues to impact the province. Efforts underway to repair infrastructure, including water and sewage pipes. Well, a major pipe has yet to be fixed in Ovaka, Durban. Let's cross live now to Heidi Giokos, who's there. Heidi, give us the latest insofar as that pipe is concerned. How has it impacted life there?
Yes, indeed, Mfunda. I think it's important to highlight the fact that government officials are at pains to try and sort out and mop up after those devastating rains and the floods here in KwaZulu-Natal. But it seems as though they can't keep up because there's just too much going on. To get more perspective on this, we do know that there is a sewer pipe, a massive sewer pipe that has been damaged by the KZN floods, and it still has not been repaired. This is causing a huge health hazard and risk here, because you have sewage that's not going into the pipes. It's rather going onto the road and into a nearby river, of course affecting marine life, which we'll look into just now. But we are joined by the Ward Councillor, Ward 34 Councillor, Mr. Bobby Maharaj. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. I think we brought you some luck because we're seeing the Deputy Mayor just arriving, trying to assess the damage. But maybe just speak to us about your efforts to try and sort out this pipe that you are seeing damaged here just behind us, where you have sewage coming out of it.
Well, my efforts started about a few days after the storm, the natural disaster that we speak about. Excuse me. I tried to get down this road because I heard that there were some problems here. I was blocked off a little higher up, but I wasn't the only one. There were other motorists. I then took a drive through Effingham Road and came and parked around there. But from a distance, I couldn't really see what was happening. But the road was blocked and there was no one going through. A few days later, it eased a bit. And then I came in, and the word shocked is not applicable in a state like this. What we see here is now slowed down enormously. After the storm, this was a real flood. The entire road was blocked off. What I also noticed was that the sewer, this is sewer, that there's no two ways about it. You don't have to look at it carefully, you can smell it. I noticed that the sewer had crossed the road, flown across the road into this grass patch and was working its way into the Mhlangani River. I mean, that immediately has an impact on marine life. Excuse me. However, I started calling seniors in the Durban Water Sanitation. I was getting absolutely no joy whatsoever. It's been a battle, a massive battle for myself, because I am the ward councillor in this area. But fortunately, let's say the last 24 hours has brought me some joy. I was informed that the contractors are around, that there's every possibility that work will commence next week, which is a blessing, a massive blessing. And this morning, I'm happy to see the Deputy Mayor here. So there's something happening. And that is what was missing. And apart from the natural storm, the disaster that followed after the natural storm, the aftermath, had really annoyed residents. And I'm using the word annoyed politely. They were up in arms. Nothing was being done, etc. and so forth. And I don't blame them. But I'm hoping that the next few weeks we see a massive improvement, and that in itself would be telling the residents that work is being done.
And perhaps let's go back to the residents and how the floods affected the area here. I know you say you have 9 areas under your ward, Ward 34, but this, of course, is very difficult to live with. You have sewer coming out of these pipes, and people have to drive through this, of course affecting them, because this is, I don't want to use other words, but this is sewage here.
It is sewage. Close to us at the intersection, we move into the Effingham area. I mean, it's not just people living in close proximity to the problem. You've noticed, this is a very busy road. We have a business estate on behind you, and we also have Nandi Drive, which is one of the busier roads. On the left-hand side, there's also businesses. So there's a flow of continuous traffic that is coming through. What we smelt this morning was mild. I mean that. It's extremely mild. I had stated earlier on, when I first got here, my car windows were up, my air cons were at full blast in my car, but that stench worked its way into my vehicle. And even when I got off this road, excuse me, I had to get my car, the undercarriage, hosed. Every time I use this road, I have to get it hosed. I fully understand the frustrations that residents go through. They've invested hundreds of thousands or millions of rands to build their homes in this area, to pick up the area, and it was, a really good area. But with things like this, things take a dive. I'm hoping, as I've said earlier on, that having seen, if many of them see your clip, right, and I am going to send it out on a WhatsApp group, because I need to communicate to them, something that I failed in because of the demands of this award. To see something happening here now, to see the deputy mayor here. I'm in a different world at this moment, Heidi. I'm in a different world. I was down for a while, quite a while. I'm beginning to feel that energy come back into me. And I will be here, as I've been doing in the past, on a daily basis, coming past just to see something happen for the good of everyone in the area.
Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the best. I think the Deputy Mayor is here to provide a solution for you. I'm just going to ask my colleague Giokos to just show you to my right, Mfundo. You can actually see the marine life here. Parts of this area and parts of this river, which is causing a huge risk and health hazard, I would say, because this is not fresh water. This is sewer that's now leaking and streaming into this river, which isn't great. I'm trying to get the attention of the Deputy Mayor, but it seems as though, he is going to make his way through here. Perhaps if you could just bear with us, Mfundo, we're just going to get the Deputy Mayor to just have a chat with us. Thank you so much for your time, Deputy Mayor. We do appreciate it. Maybe just tell us why you're here. This is, of course, a huge problem. The community is saying they've been at pains for the past 4 weeks to try and get the attention of government officials to sort this out. Are you going to be able to sort this out, and how soon?
Morning. With your question first, I'm just here to assess the progress, because we've already started trying to look at the issue. Yes, it's been a pain for everyone, but let's correct the parts of the municipality not doing anything about it. Maybe I've been here 10 times with the official. I can tell you now that the deputy minister has been here 3 times. That is how serious we're taking the problem. This is not the only problem, though, that we can't hide as a municipality. There are many problems like this. I think you'll know that 80% of our wastewater plant are down. That is a reality. We can't hide it. So basically, yes, we are faced with a serious problem that needs to be resolved. I'm aware that around midday today, the contractors are coming here. So this one, at least, we're dealing with. But the truth of the matter, moving from here, it needs to go to what we call Northern Works. That plant was washed away as well. So basically, the problem doesn't end. At the moment, we've got easy around 3,400 mega that is just going nowhere that we cannot account for. We're not taking it easy. We're very worried. We're pained about it. That's the situation.
And it must be a challenge to try and keep up with all that's been damaged and try and identify all the spots that have been damaged, especially when you have a health risk like this. Surely that's also a challenge for the municipality.
Yes, it is a challenge for us, because remember, with the cars passing here, it may be easy, but it goes into our river. We've got the fish, we've got everything that God created to live in those clean water, and it's getting polluted as we speak. So for us, it's quite a painful situation. And on the other side, unfortunately, there are laws that you need to follow before you can do anything. You can't even buy a bolt out of the people's money unless you follow the due processes. These are all the issues that goes with it, while on the other side, we're faced with such a situation.
You touched on an important issue there in terms of making sure that, buying a bolt with people's money. And there was a huge concern that, money would be looted, if I can use that word, or taken inappropriately the funds that were allocated for the repair of KZN because of the floods. In terms of having access to that money, is there any challenge that the municipality is facing, or is that running smoothly and you are able to access the funds to do what you're supposed to do, like repairing, for example, these pipes and other infrastructure that's been damaged?
Well, let me start with the first the issue first. It's very easy to look at eThekwini and take it as one municipal with very corrupt people. I rather want the whole South African and the world at large to know is that in 2021, eThekwini received an A1 plus rating by global rating agency. This year we've done it again, and we've done even better. Nobody looks at that. There's not a single department of government that has that status, or the South Africa itself doesn't have it. So as much as we may not be, or we are not that clean as we assume, because of the whole lot of negativity that you'll hear about. But the reality is, we are far much better than people that think we'll just waste money. So back to where we are. Yes, these rules and laws and the PFMA and MFA are impediment to a certain extent. We just cannot wake up. We've got lots of contractors working around here, but we can't just wake up and say, contractor so-and-so, go and repair this. In fact, that is what is holding us now, that we need to follow that due process. If we're not, tomorrow the Auditor General, the SIU, the Hawks will be on us, will be all over on papers again. So basically you are faced with two situations, that you've got a dire situation that we need to deal with this infrastructure. On the other side, we can't do it until we follow certain processes. Out of everything that we've done in the last 4 weeks, a special EXCO had to sit last week and report. There's an EXCO sitting now at 10. That EXCO needs to report to council tomorrow. Only then we can move.
And just lastly, Deputy Mayor, you've got your boots on the ground, you're trying to assess the damage. Can you assure residents in all affected areas that you're doing as much as you can to sort out the problem and repair the infrastructure, the homes, the lives of what's been lost because of the KZN floods?
Well, I can tell you right now, most Durban people do have the electricity back, most of them. I haven't had water in my home for the last 6 days, because that is a problem that everybody is also experiencing. I'm in charge of water, but I cannot dispatch a water tanker to take the water into my house, because I'll be in trouble if I do that. So I have not done it, but we haven't had water for the last 6 days. But I can tell you that the people of the north in Utongat, we're really doing something. We're making sure that they do have water to a certain level that they can survive. We're doing that with all our residents in Durban. It's definitely not easy, it's difficult, but we're doing whatever is humanly possible to do.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for coming out to assess the damage and to speak to us. We do appreciate it. That's the Deputy Mayor of eThekwini, Philani Mavundla. I think important to highlight the fact that he's indicated they have been here numerous times to assess the damage and to do as much as they can. It's very difficult in Mfundo because a lot has been destroyed because of the KZN floods, so they're doing all they can to repair. As you heard him mention, funds become a problem because they have to follow processes. They can't just take money out and repair, but they're trying to do all they can.
All right. No, it is a difficult task ahead insofar as rebuilding is concerned. Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Heidi Giokos.